The announcement about a possible $1,000 to $2,000 payment, referred to as a distribution or dividend to the people of America, has created a wave of questions, especially from those who depend on Social Security and other fixed income benefits. Many are wondering whether this new payment will include them, and the answer depends on several familiar factors that have applied to previous rounds of financial relief. The most important point is that the name of the program, whether it's called a stimulus check, rebate, dividend, or distribution, doesn't matter. These are simply different labels for the same type of financial support. What truly determines eligibility is income. Historically, whenever federal stimulus or relief payments have been distributed, the deciding factor has been a person's annual income, not the title of the payment or whether someone files taxes. In past programs, lawmakers used clear income thresholds to define eligibility. Typically, individuals earning $75,000 a year or less and married couples earning $150,000 or less qualified for the full payment. These thresholds have been consistent across the previous three federal stimulus checks: $1,200 in 2020, $600 later that year, and $1,400 in 2021. Those payments included retirees, Social Security recipients, people with disabilities, and low-income individuals who did not file tax returns. The same logic is expected to apply this time as well. If you receive Social Security retirement, SSDI, SSI, VA, or other fixed income benefits, the key question is your income. If your total annual income is under the traditional threshold, then historically, you have been eligible for such payments, even if you do not file a federal tax return. The government already maintains beneficiary information through the Social Security Administration, which includes names and direct deposit details. During previous rounds of payments, the Treasury Department used that information to issue payments automatically. That process worked efficiently for millions of Americans who did not need to take additional steps. Some people worry that these new payments could require a tax return to qualify. While that is theoretically possible, it's unlikely. Requiring everyone on fixed income to file a tax return, especially those whose income falls far below the taxable limit, would overwhelm the system and slow down distribution. It would also create unnecessary complications for millions of seniors and people with disabilities who already receive their benefits through direct deposit. Lawmakers understand this, and given the popularity of direct payments, they will likely follow a simpler route to ensure that eligible individuals receive funds automatically, just as before. Of course, there's always the possibility that the official legislation could include unexpected restrictions. It's possible, though highly unlikely, that it might exclude certain groups. Such a move would be extremely unpopular and counterproductive. The entire purpose of a distribution like this is to stimulate the economy by helping ordinary people manage the rising costs of living. Excluding those who rely most heavily on fixed incomes would undermine that goal. It's also worth noting that some payments in the past were intercepted or reduced because of specific financial obligations, such as unpaid child support or outstanding federal debts. Those cases were exceptions, not the rule. For the vast majority of recipients, the payments arrived without issue. If new payments are approved, similar rules could apply. But there's no indication that these types of offsets will be expanded or changed significantly. While we await formal details, it's important to remember that these programs are often developed and refined over time. The president's statement about a possible $1,000 to $2,000 dividend reflects the early stage of the idea. For it to move forward, lawmakers would need to write, debate, and pass legislation establishing eligibility rules, funding sources, and distribution methods. That process can take time. However, Because the basic structure for delivering payments already exists from the systems used in previous stimulus programs, it would not require starting from scratch. For those living on fixed incomes, this announcement offers a glimmer of hope at a time when inflation and everyday costs remain high. The memory of the last round of direct payments is still fresh, and many people recall how those funds helped cover essentials like rent, utilities, groceries, or medical expenses. The structure worked then, and if a new round is approved, it's reasonable to expect a similar approach. At this stage, patience is key. No legislation has been finalized, and no payment schedule has been confirmed. When new information becomes available, updates will follow quickly from official government sources. It's always a good idea to monitor reliable news outlets and the official Social Security and Treasury websites for accurate information. Be cautious of misinformation or unofficial claims that circulate online about guaranteed dates or early signups. Those are often misleading or outright scams.